Alright, everybody, welcome to HGR on a Wednesday night. Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth calling it for the Raging Idiot Racing Network. Right now, the man who I'll be interviewing here in a little bit, Quentin Standbach, fast in practice. He is also the pre-race spinner winner. Trusting that fast. What does that mean exactly? If Quentin Standbach can win tonight, he'll be getting like $100 bonus or somewhere along them lines. Only if he wins tonight. And with that being said, let's go ahead and pull him up. Quentin Standby, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. I'm sure you already know right now, but currently being in first, you're also the pre-race spin winner, which tells me that if you can win tonight, it's an extra $100 going to you, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. I think that's how it works. But yeah, I hope I can get up there and finish and a little extra money. That'd be a nice chunk of change to have.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how, knowing that that's on the line, how will this affect how you race? Is it still same as usual, or you try to be up there to the front a little more often, a little more quicker?
Honestly, in these cars, I've found my strategy is to kind of hang back and let the race happen in front of you, and then when it starts coming down to the last half of the race, start figuring out where you want to be, take the runs when you can, and you can move from last to first in this car pretty quickly. So it might just kind of take the runs when I can later in the race, I think.
Well, buddy, I'll ask you this last question, and I'll let you head on out of here. Get ready with 8.5 minutes to go for qualifying. The track, looking at it right now, according to my data, 118 degrees. Very slick track. How is that affecting the race car from your side of things?
Well, I've only really been able to drive by myself or like with one other guy, so I haven't gotten a ton of speed like we will with all the other cars. I assume it's probably gonna make these cars a little squirrely, might not see through you wide as much, and if you do, you're gonna see the lanes kind of merging into each other and turning into different lanes. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's going to be real scary to drive in, though.
I can imagine. Well, Quentin, appreciate your time, buddy. And for those of you just tuning in, Quentin is going for the $100 bonus for the pre-race spin. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Yes,
best of luck to you. Hope we'll talk to you at the end of this thing.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So that is the hope for Quentin Standbot win tonight. He'll get a $100 bonus. Just tuned in, 9 drivers that posted a practice time so far. Quentin Standbach, obviously in first. Joseph Allen second. Michael Wingo third. Brock Martin fourth. Eric White rounds out the top 5. Garrett Cashflow, Steve Sizemore, Jeff Merck, and James Waring rounds out the top 10. Right now, you just saw it about on the screen. Richard Elliott rolling out onto the racetrack now. You'll notice these Gen 6 cars again. Of course, all en route for the SummerSlam 499. Coming up in just a couple of weeks. Some of HGR's best will be taken to the biggest money race of the summer. And it will start July 31st and end August 3rd. Pretty much right now, you see Elliott will slide into 10th quickest. Pretty much right now it's just practice times. Well, not practice times, but qualifying laps being laid down. There might be some draft affected. But a lot of these times right now that are not in the 49s, 48s, hell, even in the 47s. Just because they ain't been able to get a great big pack started or formed up. Right now, 14 drivers entered. A lot of still waiting on a couple more, estimated to be somewhere around 20. Well, Elliott's qualifying or mock qualifying run of 52.099, good enough for 6th. Yeah, look at Eric White returning to HGR. Beautiful Jeff Gordon throwback to old T-Rex paint job. The actual car only ran one time and then it was outlawed pretty much. Right now, Eric White looking to correlate that paint job into getting himself a win tonight. Brock Martin just starting to roll out. Martin right now sits 4th on the leaderboard with a 50.060. Eric White, as a matter of fact, just talking to him right now, his best time of 51.794. Got the assist of Chris Blatchard rolling back out. Blatchard one has not posted a time so far tonight. And Blatchard will actually pull it off the apron. Not sure the reasoning behind it. So right now, with just under 3 minutes remaining in practice, still Quentin Stanbach, Joseph Allen, Michael Wingo, Brock Martin, and Eric White, the top 5. Well, now the top 10's been posted. Richard Elliott, Garrett Caswell, Steve Sizemore, Jeff Murrick, and James Waring. Well, Richard Elliott right now probably taking another attempt at his mock qualifying run. But the big thing that a lot of drivers are going to take away too is being that we're seeing a lot of solo car runs right now. The one thing drivers are going to have to really be cautious of is just how easy it is for these cars to lose the draft. So much easier to lose it versus the typical truck or Gen 4 or ARCA that you would see a lot of times. These cars, one little mishap and you immediately have to get back behind the guy before you lose the draft. Minute and a half remaining. Richard Elliott's last lap. Not fast enough to really improve. I'll tell you what they'll be doing. They'll be chasing that man tonight, Quentin Stanbach. Those of you just now joining, Stanbach, the pre-race spin winner. Pretty much the terms for Quentin is if he wins the race, he'll get an extra $100 or a bonus. And right now, stand by quickest in practice so far with 42 seconds remaining and counting. Danny Barnes just joined in. Barnes had a great race going the other night, Sunday night. We're finally getting caught up in the big one. This will pretty much be it. Nobody else really going to appear to really set a time. But Quentin Standbot trying to go right now fast in practice, going to try to be fastest in qualifying, and hopefully the 22 will finish first. Unbiased opinion, of course. Studica, Christopher Carter will be joining me in the booth later tonight once he gets home and gets off of work and all that. So we'll have two commentators, even if one joins late here. That being said, qualifying on tap next. So Garrett Caswell will be the first one to roll out the pit road to potentially kick us off in qualifying. 5 minutes to post one lap. Is it still one lap? No, it's 2 laps. Okay, so changing it up tonight. 2-lap qualifying. Eric White, Quentin Standbot will be behind Caswell. Lieutenant Steve Sizemore as well. Followed by Danny Burns and the 60 of Jeff Merritt. We'll focus in on Garrett Caswell. Several more drivers rolling out. Brock Martin, James Waring, 45 of Corbin, and Caswell, something amiss. Well, he'll throw away that first lap. Unsure of the issue until why he had to reset. But out of me, Eric White will now post the first lap. See if we can get some data on Eric White here. We'll look at the dashboard. Track his speed for the first lap. Really high up, maybe trying to get a great run down the back straightaway. But for some drivers, the first lap will be a throwaway lap. Right now, Steve Sizemore fastest in the first half of the track. At the line, Eric White. The time to beat, a 52.711 for right now. Standbach immediately to the top of the board. Then Steve Sizemore with a 52.111. Right now, Sean Corbett calling it quits. Feels like his first lap was good enough. Garrett Caswell slides. He'll slide into fourth quickest and slides it down to the bottom of the racetrack. Richard Elliott will slide into second. One and done for Elliott. Seems like to be the case for several drivers. Get a look at John Darnell. Of course, Darnell's had several great runs since debuting on the Raging Idiot Racing Network a few weeks ago. Of course, then, really, it's pretty much a practice to what the drivers have been waiting all summer for, SummerSlam 499. Only in a couple weeks. Couple weeks. Thursday, July 31st is when they'll start. Sunday, August 3rd is when they'll have the field made up for the big event at SummerSlam 499. Darnell's first lap. It will appear to be his only lap. Only ran one. That's all you really need to run. Joshua McCullough. Again, another one, then one and done. McCullough slides into fourth. And with that, qualifying's over. Sean Corbett on pole. While we have him on here, let's see if we can't get Sean Corbett. Sean Corbett, Garrett Jenkins up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Well, buddy, start. One's going to give Steve Sizemore a break being interviewed from the pole for the last few weeks or the last few races. I want to ask you, what's the plan going into the night? How do you prepare for this? And how is this going to help you be prepared for the biggest race of the summer?
Let me turn down that TV real quick. Man, let's go do it just like I do, everyone. Just try to keep it clean, stay in front best I can, clean pit stops, in and out. This is the name of my game, and hopefully I got a couple of dancing partners to go with me near the end.
All right, buddy.
That's all I can tell you.
All right, but well, hopefully the winless streak will come to an end tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you when this is all over with.
We'll see, boss. Anything can happen.
All right, buddy.
All right, shoot.
Sean Corbett starting on pole tonight. Well, he's only just a little bit of the equation. The starting grid for tonight is not 150 laps, thank God. Be here way too long. I forgot something. All right, now it's fixed. So Sean Corbett on pole tonight. Richard Elliott starting second. Steve Sizemore third. Justin McCullough fourth. Jeff Murray fifth. Garrett Caswell, Danny Barnes. Again, those just joining. The pre-spin winner, Quentin Stanbach. If he wins the race tonight, he'll get a nice $100 bonus. Stanbach will roll off 8th. James Waring 9th. Brock Martin 10th. Eric White and John Darnell the 3rd rounds out the fast 12. On down through the field. Michael Wingo, Chris Blatchard, Joy Masavage. Still probably pronounced that wrong. But Bradley Stefan. That's 15th, 16th. John Ward, Joey Allen, and William H. Scott Jr. will round out the field tonight for 19 cars on hand. Of course, later on during the race, probably about 10 laps in, we'll be joining the booth by Christopher Carter to help call the rest of this action. Carter not able to make the race tonight, so he opted to hang up the fire suit and the gloves to go commentate tonight. He'll be here a little later. With that being said, of course, Sean Corbett and Steve Sizemore both looking to end a very rough summer stretch for both drivers. Richard Elliott's been close so many times, has not gotten there yet. That being said, Corbin Elliott will be bringing it down to the United Rentals restart zone. We are rolling 42 laps. Richard Elliott, slight lead coming off of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Slight lead, how about already out in front? But a great push from Joshua McCullough. Now Elliott down to the bottom. Corbett almost got turned. The key thing tonight, track is extra slick. These cars are going to be all over the place, bouncing around, sliding around, especially the older the tires get. At the line, Richard Elliott will lead the first laps on HGR on a Wednesday night. Got Gary Caswell on that 88 trying to bring up the outside lane again. Quentin Standbach knows what's on the line for him. Right now, 2x2 still. Well, here comes Caswell trying to bring that outside lane up. Still Quentin Standbach in tow with him. Side by side now, actually. At the line, it'll still be Richard Elliott. A push from Joshua McCullough. Let's see another thing that they got going on right now. Bottom lane. Very, very organized. That on the bottom, a little bit of separation from the outside lane. That could very well be hurting the outside lane just a little bit. As I say that, Caswell able to edge ahead in front of Elliott for the moment. Not clear enough. Right now, 3x3. Further in the back, Eric White trying to make something happen in that T-Rex number 24. Getting pushed from John Ward. Caswell's been close, but Elliott's led all 3 laps so far that's been completed. Caswell battling back to the outside, still 3-wide action deep in the field. Top 5 as they run. Caswell, Elliott, McCullough, Standbach, and Sean Corbett, but the third lane starting to form up and get 3 wide already. Right now, 4 cars jumping up to that third lane. Eric White pulling John Ward. Just to name the other drivers up there on that outside lane. 21, William H. Scott Jr., one of them. Caswell actually jumps up into the third lane to cover it. Caswell now back down to the middle. Standbach now to lead that third lane. But right now, as you see, I think that was White, bounced off the wall just a little bit. That's going to hurt that third lane. They're really in the middle lane, not able to really build up the ground they need. They're going to go 3 wide again. Jeff Burke up the track. As quick as it gets up there, the third lane's already dissipated. It's going to hurt the 60 a lot right now, unless somebody jumps up in front of him or behind him. Elliott to cover Caswell. It's going to lead the bottom for McCullough to come by at the line. Elliott will still lead, but now the roles are reversed. Well, Elliott knows if he can get back to the bottom and clear the 19 of Joshua McCullough, that he will have a chance. There it is. He'll take it right there. Immediately back down to the bottom. Elliott working the lane control very nicely tonight. John Ward in 15th position. Just ran the fastest lap of the race so far at a 48.002. Just goes to show that anybody in this pack can really win it if they're on the lead lap and they're not a lap down. The only driver off pace, John Darnell, started from the pits, but right now 25 seconds off the lead pack. If it doesn't get a caution soon, then he'll be one lap down and in trouble. Meanwhile, Caswell, not giving up on the middle lane, has yet to drop down. And Caswell knows that if he can just get a good push down the back straightaway from Brock Martin, just enough to clear the 0-2 of Elliott, that he will drop to the bottom. And then it will be him in control of how this race runs with 35 to go coming to the line. But right now, you're not really seeing that a whole lot. Of course, Caswell, a great run off the corner this time. Almost gets turned back to it. Brock Martin is going to get put in the middle. No, he's not. But Elliott will lead that lap. Now Elliott right back up to the middle lane. Going to allow McCullough to pull out right beside of him. Potentially try to cool off that motor the best he can. Getting shoved by Corbett. Now Elliott right back down to the bottom. Cuts off the 19's bumper just a little bit, but not enough to really make them disorderly or nothing like that. A little bit of a gap actually from the 0-2 to the 45. Massive gap. Here comes the third lane with Brock Martin. About the 89 of Bradley as well with Stanbach, White, and Ward. Middle lane with Garrett Caswell leading that has completely fell apart. Going all the way to the back, and now you see Martin was covering the middle lane. But the biggest loser of that whole deal, John Ward, now he's stuck in that third line all by himself. But Ward's one of them. He'll wait till the end to really start showing up. Right on board now with Richard Elliott. Led every lap so far tonight, near about. There's the push from McCullough right through trouble. Nothing too bad. Get a great look in the front of that motor. Well, that's Elliott leading. You see they're going 3 wide again with John Ward, Jeff Merritt. The front two in that third lane. James Waring, William H. Scott as well. Well, let's really see what it's like being this mid-pack, how different riding in the pack is compared to being out front. Well, right on board Quentin Stanbach, the man going for the bonus tonight. Right now, massive speed there from the front. Meanwhile, at the line, John Ward will lead his first laps tonight. Ward up 16 spot, a little bit of contact between Martin and the Tudor. Gets Squirrely, Ware getting the wall. The 64, but Savage and wall. There they go. James Ware, massive damage already. Michael Wingo damage as well. Been a rough stretch for Waring and Wingo both. Of course, the summer's been very brutal to a lot of drivers. Let's go back and see what happens here. back it up a little bit further here.
Good evening to you there, Jim Bob.
What's up? Christopher Carter joined me in the booth. Buddy, already on our first caution. You need me to share the screen real quick? Let you dissect this wreck?
Yes, sir.
All right. Replay is coming up here in just a moment. I'm going to share the screen. So under our first caution tonight, be sure you can see it first.
Yeah, I can't see it yet.
You
I
can't?
see you went live, but I can't see it.
Okay, hold on. Hope you'll be able to see it now. Meanwhile, as we're rolling here, and it just contact burns on the apron, and just too much contact. It's really how I view it. Wearing hard into the wall. Wingo gets a piece. Caswell gets a massive chunk. Are you able to see it now?
Yeah, it looks to me like they've run out of patience.
Just a little bit. We're actually going to get up there to the front with James Waring, where this all originates from. All right. So there's some contact there, and pretty much just give me your opinion. What do you see happening with all this?
I see the contact caused a checkup, and 64 had nowhere to go right there, and he got in the back of James Waring there and turned him down into that car. Just a racing incident to me.
Of course, just alluded to.
I'm not, for my taste, that was a little bit too much contact. I mean, they should have given each other a little bit more room, but it is racing.
It is racing, and the first caution will come 11 laps into this event. And of course, Chris just alluded to the fact that talked about a lot of drivers having a rough summer. Corbett, one of them. Steve Sizemore, we've mentioned before. Another one more flies under the radar, but James Waring's bad luck continues. But nevertheless, rewrite the top 5 here as they go. And right now in these cars, like Christopher, what are you trying to figure out with these cars? We know the big event coming up. As a matter of fact, it's plastered right there on Jeff Murrick's hood. If we can get, my camera crew can get a rear chase of that. But what are you trying to figure out in these cars as we approach the SummerSlam 499 in a couple weeks? Like, what are you trying to figure out with these cars? Is it handling? How the car's going to react in the draft? What are some of the things you as a driver is looking for?
I myself, I've noticed with these things, they get a real good run. So if you're coming up on a slower car and you even hesitate for half a second, more likely you're getting to the back of them because you're going to have to jerk it or slam the brakes on. I think just getting behind somebody and following them, push them when you have to, control your temps, don't get them up too early. You have to, when you go to make a move from the one line to the next line, doesn't matter which line you're coming from, you have to be real decisive with it. And when you make that decision, you have to stick with it and get down. That's what you have to do. If you hesitate, you will cause a wreck.
And of course, right now we're not seeing that a whole lot, but it's also real early in this event. Of course, when we restart here, already the winning green will be 28 to go. And honestly, for some of these drivers, really, do you feel like, at what point is the urgency to go for it? Is it after you know fuel's no longer an option, you ain't going to have to worry about the fuel strategy? Or is it early on in the race, drivers in the back trying to make up track position? When do some drivers decide, well, I'm trying to ride and let's just go race for it?
Usually, once the pit stops go out the window and fuel's out the window, it's time to try to get to the front, but be patient about it. Pick your battles and try to get up there for that last lap run if possible. Other than that, just try to get in the top 10, save, wait, wait for the other drivers to make a mistake on checkups and things like that, and you can get a few cars.
Right now, as we look at the top 5 before we switch it back over to the full running order, Jeff Murrick in first. Richard Elliott's led 9 laps to start this race so far. Quentin Stanbach going for the $100 bonus. Brock Martin and Steve Sizemore rounds out the top 5. Is there anybody in the top 5 that you see that you feel like can get the job done tonight, or do you think somebody from the back is going to end up taking this thing?
Well, I can tell you right now, with a $100 bonus, Quentin Steinbach, he ain't going to play tonight. But I'd have to say we might see us a new winner again tonight. There's been a few here lately. I don't count out John Warden and Sean Corbett ever working together, or even Josh McAuliffe.
I never do neither. And right now they're rolling Jeff Murrick on the bottom lane, not as organized as the top. About what you want to see if you're in the outside lane. You see Elliott already dropping down to the bottom. Oh! What a save by Martin and Sizemore. And they're already 3 wide again, Christopher.
Yeah, I think at this point, this early on, I would try to line up and try to form a line, and maybe hopefully somebody will, or the majority of them will fall back in line and just try to run some of these laps out.
Potentially, and of course right now is not a great restart for the outside lane. Probably had something to do with this. You see Elliott led 9 of the opening 11 laps under green, and now falling all the way back to 10th. Enjoy the Savage leads his first laps tonight. John Ward with him. Ward's led 2 so far. They're the biggest movers in the race. 14 and 15 spots gained. Of course, Christopher, right now track temp's 107. At one point it was 118. So right now you're seeing caution. Danny Barnes around. Not just Barnes, Allen's involved in it. Man, Michael Wingo, John Darnell. Surprised?
Not surprised. Looks like them hot temps are making a little bit for hot tempers here right now.
Oh, just a little. We'll go back and see. I got Darnell going around, and then we'll just get the 4 chase cam. We're going right on board with Darnell. Joseph Allen Meatball is going to take a fast repair. What do you say? More like an accordion effect there than the back of
was
the
that
wheel?
that run, or was that run I was talking about?
We'll look at it here. So there's hard to say.
That's that accordion effect. But that, remember, I was just saying earlier, you get when you get in that streamline and you're behind that car, you just gain so much, and the cars behind you don't have a time to react. They just don't.
Right there's a checkup, and of course, so there's the run you allude to with, I believe you're referring to Joseph Allen with that massive run that he got. Then Darnell tries to come up and block.
Well, I don't think he necessarily come up the block. I think that he knew that he was going to run on the back of that car, and he had to pick a line to go to. That right there, he had to go high.
Unfortunately, Michael Wynn going in. It's that bystander, Scott, getting a little bit of damage.
I think poor Wingo needs to put a big old bullseye on the back of his car. He just seems to have no luck in these things.
Never. Which sucks because a couple weeks ago he was in the running on the last lap. Him and coincidentally Quentin Stanbach both, of course, getting passed on the last lap. But really, you have personally alluded to the fact that you do not want to be leaning on the last lap, or really any time with these cars. And exactly why is that?
Once they make a move on you, it only takes 2 cars. Once they move up, you're setting in the wind. I mean, it's like pulling a parachute. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing, you can't defend it. You just got to hope that the car behind you catches up to you quick enough to give you another bump, and maybe those cars will come down, and then maybe you'll be able to get up past them. But other than that, you're a setting duck.
Well, then the next question I will allude to, and of course I'm asking this a little prematurely with 25 to go, but where do you want to be position-wise the closer we get down to the finish? Where do you feel like the sweet spot is at?
I think anywhere in the top 6, possibly the top 8, according to what happens with the according effects and the blocks. But generally about top 6. You could be 5th, 6th, anywhere right there. And once the drivers decide to leave the leader hanging out, whether he's on the high side or the low side, you're going to have the opportunity to pick your own hole real fast and maybe shoot to the front.
And of course, right now, as we stand second caution of the night, kind of does shape up, kind of does reshape up the top 5 as they stand. We're going to get that data up here. Okay, so new faces in the top 5 other than Standbach. Brock Martin.
Yeah, he needs to stay up front. The only chance he has of winning this $100 bonus is to keep himself in the top 8. He cannot fall back no further. If he does, it's going to be a struggle for him.
Of course, one of them that's been up and down the leaderboard all night has been John Ward from the back to the front, slips back to the back, and then gets a run back up there. Ward in contention tonight. So is only about maybe now 19 other drivers, being that James Waring's back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I accidentally took him out. I'm pretty sure it was in these cars here about, and we was probably more likely going to get the lead if I'd have been just a little bit more patient myself. But it was, we were down to the last 3 laps and kind of shoved through him.
Only a little bit. Just enough to, and really how careful do you really got to be pushing these cars? Where can you push these cars even?
When you got a car, if you got a car in front of you and there's just one more car in front of that car, staying close enough to be able to beat, and we were in the 3rd lane, you got to pretty much stay glued perfect all the way through the corner and all the way down the straight chute to even beat the bottom 2 lanes. And I was staying glued, and there was kind of a little bit of a wiggle, not really of a checkup from the 2 cars in front of me. I just went to shove at the wrong time and coming off the corner there and turned him down on that car.
Pretty much all she wrote.
It's over. Once you hit the pusher, it's done.
Re-rack the top 5 as we get back started here. Brock Martin, John Ward, 1st and 2nd, Sean Corbett, Joey Savage, and Quentin Standbach, the top 5. And of course, you alluded to for Standbach finishing in the top 8, he's got a chance at this here.
I'm telling you, I'm getting to where I'd like to see somebody win this bonus. It's going to grow to be really big. Then it's going to be a real good fight.
Well, right now, Quentin Standbach still has 23 laps whenever they take the green flag to get himself in position to win this $100 bonus. A great start by the 2, but is it too great of a start?
Nah, he'll be fine. He'll back up to him, catch him, and more likely that high lane may get him, at least one of the cars.
Right now, that one car looking to do that. John Ward on the outside lane right now.
Looks like about 3 of them are going to clear him. Nope, about 2. Nah, it's 3.
Probably 4. Standbach immediately bails out to cover the bottom lane as John Ward now leads off of 4.
Now, if these guys were smart on the bottom here, I'd try to filter up that top line and try to just make a straight line out of this race for a while. There's no reason to be battling right now. Just save your fuel, wait for that pit stop, and just try to get out quicker.
And of course, if you're John Ward, at what point does a driver got to realize I need to fall back and try to save about how long does somebody like Ward stay out?
Possibly John, probably maybe 2-3 laps, and he'll unless they're on a different strategy, he'll stay up there for about 2 laps, 3 laps possible.
Anyway, I see 3x3 Quentin Standbike. He just alluded to dropping out of the top 8. Right now, Standbike not even in the top 10. He'll fall back in line to about the 15th or 16th spot. 15th to be precise.
Yeah, they're starting to form up one line here, as you can see. And these guys racing on the outside of me ain't doing no good for themselves. They're just going to keep falling back.
Of course, right now, if you're the Savage or Ward or White, right now, is this what you want to see behind you? They're still racing it out flat there.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely what you want to see when you're up there in the front. You'd love to see them not be able to choose whether or not they want to fall in line and save fuel or keep racing, but you hope they keep racing like they are.
So right now the stands, 16 cars in this lead pack. Joseph Allen, James Waring, William H. Scott. Pretty much lost the draft here, but the common denominator in all this, Waring, but all 3 of them have already used their one fast repair. Perhaps a strategy call here.
I mean, stay far enough away from them to where you ain't gonna get collected up in this wreck if they have one. If they don't have one, it's not gonna be not gonna work out for them too well. You can't afford to lose 3 and 4 and 5 seconds in these cars, because when they do pit, you're just gonna fall that far back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Understand it perfectly. And right now, John Corbett jumped up to the outside lane. John Ward immediately covered Jeff Merrick from the top 4 to the bottom 4 to cover the inside lane with Steve Sizemore and Garrett Caswell trying to bring that middle lane back up. If you're Ward, where the hell do you defend?
Here, he's got to stay on the high side. He knows if he goes to the bottom at this point with them forming lines up there on the top, the only thing he's going to do is go backwards.
Now, there is drivers who can defend all 3 lines, but really, what's the risk level that you're taking, trying, let alone defend 2? But now you got to add a third equation like Richard Elliott's trying to make up there.
John won't try to defend 3. He'll try to defend 2 possibly. And
Caswell saved it. Whew.
And that's what John's hoping for right there. Those kind of mistakes will just keep him out front.
Right now, Sean Corbett pushing him. Look at the gap they have to that pack.
Yeah, they got to get down to the bottom right here. They can't stay up there in the middle lane and wait for these guys. Well, maybe they can. The middle line seems to be forming up a little bit quicker than that bottom line. Right
now, Jeff Merrick trying to pull 48.9 of Bradley with him. That middle lane chugging. Here comes Merrick with a massive run. Ducks to the outside. Going to try to get Richard Elliott in tow. There goes Bradley. And now you'll see Corbin and Ward jump immediately to the bottom. Quentin Standby now in charge of that middle lane for the moment. Never mind. Got demoted.
Yeah, it's about the only move that John and Sean had there. Otherwise, if they had tried to block anything or pick another lane with those cars coming as quick as they were, it would have been a wreck, that's for sure.
And here comes the man that's led the most laps tonight at 10, storming back up through the middle with Quentin Standbach in tow. Richard Elliott will lead his 11th lap, and it's a pretty gutsy block right there over the 60. On a wrecking! Michael Wingo, Brock Martin.
Poor old Wingo, can't miss him, can he?
Not tonight. 3rd incident tonight for Wingo. Brock Martin, meatball flag, a fast repair already down the drain. The night will be done for the 2. The massive damage right there to the right front. We can't get a camera look on it.
I think I might reach out to old Wingo and ask him if he wants me to have him a paint scheme made where he's got a bullseye on the hood, the roof, the doors, the back bumper and all. Maybe to help him out. Maybe to give him some luck.
Nah, man, a Target car would be a perfect fit. Let's see what happens. Oops, sorry.
Oh, that was a big old run. Oh, there it is.
The Savage gets a piece of it. Him and damn, that's where
Was that neck code, or was that just Wingo coming down?
See if we can get a better look at it here. Slow motion. Raging Idiot Advanced Slow Motion. Probably activated this a little too early. So regardless, see, Sizemore comes up. He's going to stay clear of this. This is where we're going to be focusing at here. The run's coming, as you've alluded to, all night in Wingo.
Oh yeah, that was net code. Now the thing with net code is when you got another car coming that fast and you got one that they're running up on, the net code seems to be worse because the internet and the servers will say, well, that 25 was going to be there, or the 2 was going to be there, so it reacts to that, and that's what causes that net code.
But pretty much it's predetermining if they're gonna make contact or not. The way it sees it, it's more than likely.
Yeah, net code is exactly that. Net code knows it's going to happen before it happens. So when they do actually get close to each other, that's the outcome.
It's right on board with the two of Brock Martin through this.
Yeah, and if you see right after that, right before the contact, the way that the cars were angled, they were going to hit each other, but the net code happened way before they ever actually did.
I know we're running short on time here as far as caution-wise, but we'll go on board one more driver. Go on board Steve Simon if I can ever back it up better. So there's the wreck, and he's thinking, oh man, I got this made. No, I don't.
Yeah, he didn't have it made. Was that 64 again?
Yep. Take one more look at it from Sizemore thing. I believe it was the 64. I've seen it about 2-3 times now, and I can't even remember that.
Oh, yeah, he didn't have. He got sent down there.
Of course, Ward just an innocent bystander, so is the 64 of Joey as well.
I feel the 64's pain with being all the way at the tail and get caught in the wrecks. That's the bad part about it. If you stay back there and you stay tucked up and the wreck does happen back there, you're more likely to get caught up in it. It's just the way it is.
Well, surprisingly, the last 2 wrecks that the 25 has been involved in has not triggered a meatball flag. You got to wonder what all damage is really on that 25. Definitely going to need a new paint job afterwards.
Oh, he needs a new paint job. He needs one with bullseyes planted all the way around the car.
And after this whole pit cycle has gone around now, and our third caution with 15 to go to top 5 as they run. How about old John Darnell up there in the mix? Talk about a new winner.
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer. He's about due for one.
He's about due. John Ward has had a great last couple of weeks. I know he's one that's been broadcasted, 2 or 3 HGR wins. That's been broadcast, of course. I don't know what goes on at the live events. Of course, live events. Think of it as wrestling. The live events are the ones that aren't televised.
Well, believe it or not, a lot of the races over here over the last week or so have been won, even on the PGR side, all the way over to MMS. All of them have been. There's been a lot of races won by newbies.
And perhaps we're going to keep that trend up tonight, Chris. As I believe. Let's see. Yeah, Chris.
I mean, when you got all of us guys that have been running together year after year after year, and you get these decent, good drivers in here with us, and it only takes them a week or 2 to figure out where they got to be, because they really don't have dancing partners. As long as they hold the line, they will, because we'll shove them or we'll work with them. But those are the guys that will sneak through all of this and pull off that upset.
Of course, right now, one driver making a return to HGR. Actually, I believe this is his debut for HGR, but it's been on this stream before. The 9 of Chris Blatchard sitting up there, second car on the outside lane. Potentially one of them drivers who could sneak through and get a win tonight.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, these guys keep fooling around and bringing these cautions out. It just gives them that much more of a chance.
Well, right now, Darnell and Ward will be bringing us to United Rentals restart zone. Sean Corbett, Chris Blatchard, 3rd and 4th. McCullough and Cashwell, 5th and 6th. Tell you what, I would not mind seeing as we're green again. I would not mind seeing Danny Barnes take another one. Or Danny Barnes. Well, of course, right now, one car out of the event right now for say, to Brock Martin. So pretty much that'll leave me, you, and the viewers to really pick a pre-race, an early prediction on who wins this race tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, Bradley Stefan, he's sitting right there too. As long as he can not get caught up in one of these incidents, he might be another one.
It might be. But if I got to go with something, I'm going to go with experience. So right now, a lot of experience up there at the front, but I got to go with the leader, John Ward. I know some people might be thinking of Richard Elliott mired back there in about 13th, but I feel like Ward's got the experience to get the job done here tonight. I feel like Ward's going to be taking a lot of momentum into the SummerSlam 499 as well. So I feel like pretty much this whole month, John Ward's been either a sleeper or pretty much a spoiler.
Yeah, he has his ups and downs, but John does win a lot. When he's on, he's on. But I'll tell you right now, out of this whole field, if I had to pick 2 cars that won't leave each other and will work together through the thick and thin, that is John Ward and Sean Corbett. As long as those 2 can keep each other in front and behind, they got it made.
Right now, top 7 or 8 now. Single filed out, trying to get away from the hornet's nest that's really behind them. James Waring actually makes up the top 10. Actually, he is not involved in this pack. He's actually involved in that second pack. For those of you wondering, the pre-race spin winner, Quentin Stanbach, needs to win to get $100 tonight extra. But right now, Stanbach Meyer back there in about the 15th spot. Not ideal.
I think that second pack's just riding back there right now. They don't have to worry about being able to catch these guys because they can do it anytime they want to. It looks, well, who do we have leading that? It looks like James Waring leading that, which they'll be fine. They can just run them right back down. This race is far from over.
There's got a lot of drivers that's been at the front the majority of the night. Waring, the Savage, Elliott's led the most laps still. Won't be that way for long if John Ward continues to lead. Actually, here comes the run you're talking about. In line on the bottom.
They stay in line like this. They'll move to the high side. That bottom line will have no choice. One of those guys, or 2 or 3 of them, are going to have to jump to the high side. And here we go. You see it. They're moving out because they see them coming.
Now, if you're aware and you see them move up early, what do? Do you stay in the bottom and cycle them jokers out, or do you try to make a third line work?
You automatically go to third line. But these, I think James might lead them to the bottom. Nope, there he goes to the high side.
All the way up to the top floor. Savage goes with him. Blanchard to cover to 13. How about Elliott Wingo on the bottom? Sizemore off the wall. Stanbach will stay, and Bradley Sylvain will choose the bottom lane.
Now, for me, if I was James, I would have chosen went back down, which I think he just did. That was a little too early for Sizemore to come up to get in that groove with them. He should have waited a little bit longer.
And of course, really, these cars ain't got to worry about. These cars really don't have to worry a lot about being gridlocked with the runs they can generate and who can move where. Like you'll see in the trucks, I think.
anytime you want to move, as long as you got one car to go with you, somebody else will join, as long as you're gaining momentum and going forward.
Of course, right now, here comes McCullough and Caswell working that middle line for a mud. There goes Wingo again. Hard into the wall. Savage, Sizemore, Stefan. Blanchard got a piece of it. Michael Wingo, meatball flag. This time the night is done.
Yeah, Mr. Bullseye.
Lord have mercy.
I think he needs to go from Michael. It should be his nickname should be Michael Bullseye Wingo. You know what I'm saying? Get that monkey off his back. Put some bullseyes on there. Maybe they'll see him as a bullseye, and they won't do as much around him. You know what I'm saying? It might actually help him out.
Looks like a bad push for the 89. Right into the 4. And Sizemore, I thought Sizemore got more damage out of this than what. So really, Sizemore seems like he ought to be okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure that gets rid of the pit stop.
Oh, it will. Let's run on board with Quentin through this. Not Quentin, but Wingo.
That poor man, he just has zero luck. Zero luck. I hope he doesn't buy scratch-offs and plays the lottery.
Whoops, I think I hit something wrong here. There we go. You still seeing on your side?
Yes, sir.
Let's run on board with Joey Masav.
Is this man? He's been in everything too.
Right behind the Pride of Cheyenne, Wyoming. And we're gonna get a great look at it here.
There's them checkups.
Yeah, it's almost identical to the wreck prior.
I mean, that's how I sent Warring into the car down below me a few nights ago. It's the same thing.
He's got a whole bunch of stuff broke on that to complete. Oh my God.
We need to pull John Ward up here and ask him about this race, see what's going on with these pit stops.
I got you. John Ward, Garrett Jenkins, Christopher Carter up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, me and Christopher sitting up here thinking about these pit stops right now. 6 to go. Does not look like it'll be an overtime finish. What's the plan? Are you done with the pit stops, or are you hoping that there ain't another caution?
Everybody should be good on fuel. At least I'm good on fuel. I'm good for the 2 or 3 right now. So if we have any more yellows, that'll just give me more. But yeah, I should be good to go. I'm gonna try to stay up here as much as I can. These cars get big runs. I know we can take off, but they're gonna probably end up catching us. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna do any crazy blocks or nothing, but I'm gonna try to, stay up here.
Christopher, you got any questions for me?
Yeah, I can tell you this, John. As long as you keep Sean behind you and pushing you right now tonight, you guys are working really good together. You guys got this field covered as long as you guys stay hooked up.
Yeah. If he can keep it cool and push when he needs to, I think we could do something. That's for sure. If we can stay up on the top.
All right, well, John, buddy, we're going to drop you back now. Hopefully we'll talk to you in a few minutes after this thing.
You got it. Thank you.
Yep.
And thank you, Chris.
You're welcome, John.
That being said, we'll pull in one more driver here, and I feel like, well, no,
pull it.
Michael Wingo, Garrett Jenkins, Christopher Carter up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
It's Wingo, yeah.
Well, buddy, been a rough night for you, to say the least. Can you just take me through pretty much the whole night here?
Well, I feel like Joe Lewis. I've been hit so many times. I don't know if I got a bullseye on me or what, but I'm just getting knocked around everywhere.
We were just talking about the bullseye.
I can tell you, I got a proposition for you, Wingo. I'm gonna reach out to my paint guy, which is Matthew Baker. Yeah. I'm gonna have you a new paint scheme made. It's gonna have a bullseye on the hood, the roof, the doors, and the back bumper. and maybe that'll bring you a little bit of luck, and
I'll
they'll
be-
see you as a bullseye, and they won't hit you no more. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know
I mean,
how
it'd
this-
be a pretty one.
I don't know how this car is still together. It's crazy.
I'm surprised you ain't out of the race completely.
Yeah, I got a minute 20 of optional damage, but I did 182 by myself. So
And as for right now, your nickname needs to be Michael Bullseye Wingo.
you know, or crash dummy Wingo.
That has a whole new meaning to the name Crash Bandit, don't it?
That's right.
All right.
We're gonna pull this. We're gonna pull a top 3 off here, though.
All right, buddy.
I tell you what, I'm going to surprise you with a paint job. You can either race it or not race it. How's that?
Okay.
All right, buddy. Hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end
All
of
right.
the thing.
Okay, man. Yep.
Yes. He's in good. He's taking it better than what I would have.
Oh, he's got a good heart, Wingo does. I mean, he gets crashed so much. I mean, what more can you do but laugh about it?
Either laugh or cry 1-2, but regardless, not going to be an overtime start. They're going to be taking it with 4 to go. Joshua McCullough, John Ward, Garrett Caswell, Sean Corbett, and Jeff Murray. That'll round out the top 5. And it's safe to say now, bets are off. Forget where you want to be pushed.
Oh, it's on at this point.
Of course, Kevin McCullough not here with us tonight, but Joshua Ward bringing the McCullough name back to HGR. We're rolling. About the greatest start as you can ask for, really.
Yeah, Sean's a heck of a pusher here.
Oh, Murray's going to cut.
Oh.
Burns, good. God almighty.
That's actually going to help John and Sean. That ain't going to hurt him.
How about Scott up there in that third lane trying to make something happen? Nobody goes with him. Stand by, trying to make up all the ground he can. Time's running out on that $100 bonus.
That's what John and Sean should have did right there. Now, if this second line catches them, they have to leave that third car line out, and they have to move to the outside. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to form up that outside line.
So right now, going to be 3 to go at the line. At some point, though, does Corbett think about been a pretty long winless streak, or is it pretty much, as you said, he's going to stay fully committed to the back of John Ward?
At this point, Sean has no choices other than to stay behind John and shove him and maybe try to cross him over right before the line. Other than that, if I was Sean, I wouldn't make a move on John. They've been working really well tonight.
As you see Bradley back there almost wrecking off of 2. And there's still 3 wide. Here comes Bradley Safane now. Jeff Murray will make a move for the lead with 2 to go. Now what's Ward going to do? Oh, we got Wingo spinning on the apron again. Keeps it rolling, but I'll be damned.
John and Sean still setting pretty good right here. They just need to get this bottom line before them back up and get past these cars in the middle lane to where they can at least have a choice to go up.
About Steve Sizemore trying to rally back into the top 5 spot. 4th car on the middle lane right behind that 89 of Bradley. He was just involved in a wreck not that long ago and in position to make some money tonight. All they got to do, Christopher, they just got to make it back. Will they do it? I don't know.
I mean, John's going to shove the shit out of this car on the bottom. He has to.
Oh, the back got wrecked for his troubles at the line. White flag. Garrett Caswell on the outside lane trying to make something happen. Quit standby, not in the picture unless they all wreck right now. The $100 bonus will not be going to the 22 tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to carry over to about 120, 130.
As I said about Reagan, they got close there. Caswell working the middle line. Murray working the bottom. Does Elliott and White have a chance here? Oh, there goes Darnell. They save it. No, they don't. Corbett around and others. And at the line, Jeff Murrick. At the line, McCullough got him.
What a finish. What a finish.
I'll be damned. My. What's it telling us? Top five. What's it telling us? 25 hundredths of a second. I don't know. That might be
we
a
gotta
little
go.
off.
We gotta go back and review this because whoever turned Corbett right there, or whoever turned anybody, if any of them made it to the money, they're going to be DQ'd.
Let's look at it here. Where's Sean Corbett? There he is.
At this point, we only got 7 cars racing for this finish.
Righty, 89.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, that's definitely
I think James Warren will end part of the bad luck streak and walk away with this as a hard hit.
yeah, nobody that caused that wreck finished in the money.
Let's rewind this here and see if we can't get a look at it. Gives him just a little bit loose, and is that really all it takes?
That's all it takes. That's all it took right there, and he was done. That side draft's a killer.
And
At that point, Jeff should have come up and hit him a little sooner, I think, because that's fair play. I think Jeff Merck, about a second earlier, should have come up when he knew that and kind of drove Josh up a little higher. And then if he needed to door him, not put him in the wall, put the person in the wall to win the race, you'll be DQ'd. But you can rub and bump.
Of course, I'm going to really butcher this, but I'll get it back rolling here in a second. Just a little bit short, but nonetheless, it was literally just a.
That's really sad, though, for Corbett running that good of a race and not causing anything to be taken out there at the end.
It's been the story of the summer for Sean Corbett
Yeah,
and others.
if Merck would have come up a little sooner and hogged the lane and drove Josh up a little higher, it would have slowed down Josh's momentum there. And then if he needed to door him, he could have doored him.
Very well, cuz if I can get McCullough not in here at the moment. Nor is Merck. Well, who's the third place guy? We'll start with the third place guy. Oh, our old buddy. Garrett Caswell, Garrett Jenkins, and Christopher Carter up here in the booth. You got a quick copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, hell, you survived a wrecking on the last lap to squeak through. Was there really any plan on the back straightaway to try to make a move, or were you just stuck where you were at?
I wouldn't say stuck. Probably if the guy behind me didn't get wrecked, I probably would have won it. But I mean, it is what it is.
What I want to know is, what'd you do to get that internet fixed? Because you didn't blink out one time tonight, and I was being told way before the race ever even started that if you would have blinked and you wouldn't have went to the back, they was going to DQ you.
Shoot, I don't know. I don't even think I did anything. I wasn't really worried about it. I just was like, my head's been killing me all day, so I was just like, it's whatever. Full send.
So yours ain't the only one.
It worked out.
Worked out great for you, buddy. Awesome looking Alex Bowman throwback. Unfortunately, it comes up 2 spots short of getting the win. I want to ask you, this race was really just a mixture of fast pace, and then everybody will slow down, then there'd be a caution. At what point did you really think that, well, it's time to get back up there and race, because you hung around in the back for a little while?
That's a good question. I don't know. Normally near pit stop times, I kind of cruise out back, but we had a set of 2 cautions, and by then, I think I had saved like a lap to good, so then I could just really do my thing and be in a comfortable spot. So, and I knew I didn't want to be out back because the first time I dropped back didn't really work out too great with the incident with Joey and them. Just it was all good until it wasn't, and had to use my quick repair.
Are you waiting for your name to be drawn so you can maybe have a run at this about $120, $130 that's going to be on the line on the next race?
I don't know, man. These races, I mean, I have pretty solid look at them, but I just run these for fun every once in a while. But if every now and then, or if my name does get called for the big bucks, yeah, that'd be pretty exciting.
Well, to be sure, you ain't gonna turn down $120 just for fun.
Yeah.
all I want to know is, can I have half of it?
If you sponsor me in, maybe.
Damn.
By the way, Jim Bob, I sponsored him into the race tonight.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
And he came out third.
Good finish.
Hey, I'm never a bad bet, man. Go back and look at my record. 80% of people who sponsor me and get their money back.
That's
Anymore.
right.
I won't need to see a stock portfolio over that. But, well, Garrett, you know the last question coming. If Christopher, you got any more questions for him before I ask him the last one?
No, go ahead.
Well, Garrett Caswell, you know the last and obvious question everybody want to thank tonight, friends, family, sponsors, etc.
Definitely Christopher Carter for getting me in. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him getting me in, so that's pretty cool. I always like, even on off days, going out and doing some racing, even though I probably within 5 minutes of session going up, I was like, I'm gonna do this. So definitely mom, dad, grandparents, great grandparents, all those people watching. The Osbornes, Sharon and the rest of the Osbornes family. I was listening to Ozzy the whole race, so I think it was yesterday when we heard the news. It was pretty upsetting. So
Devil horns, baby. Devil horns.
Yep.
For a lot of us,
will be remembered, but would say drivers who I worked with throughout this race, but just about everyone tried to screw me. And just for clarifications, I did not try and push Josh to that win. So, yep.
All right, buddy. Well, Garrett Caswell will come out tonight third with a little bit extra money in his pocket. Appreciate the time, buddy.
Yep, thank you.
Yep.
Good finish.
Yep.
That being said, next driver just joined us now. Unfortunately, if I was him, I'd be a little bit gutted. Jeff Merck, Garrett Jenkins, Christopher Carter up here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I do. I got a copy on you. What's up, guys?
Well, you had it, and did you feel like you were going to keep it until he made that move?
Yeah, you never know. Coming through the Troval at Dega, it's such a long way from the Troval to the start-finish line. You never really know what they're going to do until it's really too late. In these cars, you don't want to be leading coming to the line, because if I had it to do over, I'd have probably lane split, ran about half a lane up. That way, he would almost feel like he had to push me to the line. But first and second, I think paid the same anyway, so I'm okay with it.
Well, that'd be the case. They paid the same, then you both technically won.
I think they said, I could be wrong, it might be 50 and 45, but $5 isn't going to be that big of a difference. So even if they didn't, I think it's only like $5 difference. So good on Josh. He's normally a really clean driver. He tries his best. I mean, he gets put in some pretty bad spots sometimes, and that happens. But Josh is a good dude. He drives clean, just like his dad Kenny. They both really good people.
Christopher, you got any questions?
Well, Jeff, we know you really don't run for the money anyway. We know that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, me and you've been racing against each other for how many years? We know that.
Yeah, too long, probably.
Now, I will tell you, when Jim Bob asked me earlier on the lineup who I would pick, I didn't pick you, but I knew you were
Well, that's
looking.
that's why I lost.
Well, yeah. Now I knew you were lurking, and you really didn't have a whole lot of help. You don't really have no players out here helping you at all to get up there. So I understand that.
Me and Blanchard was kind of in there together, but he's just kind of he's breaking in a new rig, and I mean he's a good little super speedway racer. But like I told him during the race, I says in these speedway races you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the only way you can run up front. So
For sure. Yeah, you have to have your nerves on 10. If you're going to run up front and want to win, you got to be up there and have them on 10.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But that was a good finish right there, Mert.
Yeah, I'm sure it looked good for the camera. And I like races like that where, if you get 3 or 4 teammates up front, it's, not really racing each other. They'll just push each other the line and figure it out afterwards. But when you're in there kind of solo, if there was a way where we could have a gentleman's agreement where every driver had their own channel, and if you weren't in your channel, you couldn't race, and you could not do any secondary adjustments, that's the way I'd prefer it.
Right.
Just like real
Right.
racing. You
Yeah.
can't talk to the driver behind you in a real race car.
Oh, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, but we all know that's not the way super speedway racing is. So we had a real good strong car tonight. That PGR SummerSlam Gen 6 Chevy Camaro, she's pretty strong. I had my hands full there on that last lap. I know Josh was being pushed by Ward, and he was sliding around on Ward's nose, and when he got to me, I was sliding around on Josh's nose. So we were kind of like, it was kind of like pushing a wet rope, you
had Corbett run out of temps on the bottom, shoving John. Like on.
Yeah. So it was only the 3 of us.
He run out of temps. He was over. And me and Jim Bob been talking about that earlier. That's why you really don't want to be in the top 4. I think personally, coming to a finish in these cars, you're better off being 5th and 6th. Sixth is more the right place to be, but 5th is good too, because when it happens, you just move up. But you happen to find yourself right there at the right spot.
Yeah, it kind of just depends on, like, if it's a late restart, you might be okay in, like, the top 4 or 5 because everybody's going to kind of be shutting the car off, cooling it off. So you can almost push for 2 laps. If you got 2 or 3 people behind you that knows what they're doing, you can push pretty consistent for 2 laps. But that 3rd or 4th guy is going to be in trouble. They're going to get hot. So managing temps is part of it, especially on a hot track. So, like I said, these cars are fun. A lot of side draft in them. They did smurf it a little bit, but it's still pretty strong. So I'm kind of
big runs. That's what I see.
Big runs. Yeah, you get huge runs in them. But the problem is you get such a big draw in the car in front of you that you'll pull away from the car behind you, and then when you move out and you hit that wall of air, I mean, it's just like.
Well, I can tell you, me and Jim Bob watched this race, and there was a couple accidents happened, and me and him was talking about it before they ever even come about. Is a car laying off enough of the car in front of them and they get a run and there's a checkup, you have to make a move to not run that car over, and you have to switch lanes. And there was 2 wrecks tonight that were exactly that.
You have to be, when you're getting a big run on the car and the pack in front of you, you have to be anticipating the checkup before you even get there. Just in case it happens, you've always got to have in your mind, okay, I might have to yank this wheel right. Is there going to be a spot there when I get there? If the car in front of you jumps up with you at the same time, then you're really like, oh, what do I do now? Just try to square the guy up and hit him as hard as you can and hope it works out for the best.
And that's what Jim Bob watched. Right, yep. Jim Bob?
Yes, sir, I did. It was an awesome run for you, Jeff. Unfortunately, just, I don't know, maybe half a car length short, if that.
Yep.
Well, buddy, is there anybody you want to thank tonight? And, well, before I throw that question, I will throw out another question for you. And it's one I've asked several drivers. I'll ask you the same question. Of course, sponsor tells it all. August 3rd, the SummerSlam 499, the main event really is what I should say, as you got 3 days of straight heat races to just try to make that one race. how does all these little practices sessions, what are you really looking for? What are you keeping mental notes of for this car as you work closer and closer to the SummerSlam 499?
Yeah, I mean all kinds of stuff like the draft package, what runs you can and can't take, who can and can't push. A lot of these drivers that are in this race are going to be trying to qualify to get into the big race, the PGR the SummerSlam 499. I can keep wanting to call it PGR 500, but that's in February, or end of January, beginning of February. It's just getting to know the car, what the car does, what track temperature is the car loose, is the car tight, what's it do on no tires, how does it stop in the box. You got to be keeping track of all that stuff because when you get over there and you get to racing with the big boys, you got one little mistake, and all it takes is to get a little behind coming off pit road, and you lose the draft. It's all over. You can't. So you almost have to have the perfect race to have a chance over there at the 499 because there's going to be a lot of big guys running that. So you can't make any mistakes.
No, sir, you cannot. And the last question that I got for you. Is there anybody you want to shout out or thank tonight? Friends, family, sponsors, etc. The floor is yours.
Yeah, my wife inside, she normally watches these broadcasts. She watches me race. She lets me do this probably a lot more than she should, so I always love her for that. Love you, baby. And hopefully we can get that 499 win this year, or at least last longer than I did last year. My teammates over at Catch Fence Motorsports, my teammates over at NBG Motorsports. One of my teammates is serving overseas right now in the Navy. He'll be back in October. Can't wait for my buddy Baker to get back and we start get the old NBG cast back together, start running again. You guys up in the broadcast booth, Jimmy Crow, and them for putting this race on. I think that's everybody, I believe. I don't know. I probably missed somebody, but all my sponsors, but mainly my loving wife inside watching this race. And
all right, buddy. We'll look forward to seeing how. Well, we'll see. I'm sure we'll see you beforehand on here several more times
I'll be
before.
for
before
sure.
the SummerSlam race. But Jeff Murray looking to take the SummerSlam 499 at the start of August. And buddy, congratulations on the second. I know it ain't what you wanted, but we'll see you go at one more spot one day soon.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, Joshua McCullough not available for an interview.
Yeah, he probably jumped over to the PGR race.
Yeah. Some drivers do double duty, triple duty, quadruple duty. Some will race 4 or 5 races a night.
Some of them race all day long.
Wish I had that luxury. Nonetheless, Joshua McCullough, your winner tonight. At the last possible second he could have pulled out to get the job done. Jeff Murray in second, Gary Caswell third, John Ward fourth, James Waring in fifth, Richard Elliott in sixth, Joey Allen seventh, Eric White in eighth, Steve Sizemore ninth, Danny Barnes rounds out the top 10 if you want to head on down through the rest of the field.
What number are we at?
11.
That would be Michael Wingo.
No,
He should have bullseye all the way around his car.
you skip one.
William H. Scott, John Darnell III, which we thought maybe he might be able to pull it off tonight. He didn't. Valley Stefane, which I picked, Joey Matswich, and Quentin Steinbach, which would have probably maybe $100 tonight, but he finished in 17th. Fritz Blanchard, which is a really good driver, found himself in 18th. And then Brock Martin, which said he has no luck whatsoever.
And of course, and it was evident tonight. The 2 was up front for early on in the race, slipped back and they recovered. Of course, Quentin Steinbach, the quest for the $100 bonus remains elusive for any driver. Steinbach adds his names to the list of drivers who have came up short in winning that race.
I really thought he had it. I really thought he might have had a
too.
good chance.
He was fastest in practice. I thought he had it as well. Real fast. before we head out, of course, I think Christopher knows what I'm about to announce. August 17th, the first ever Bash at the Beach Super Late Model Race. Raging Idiot Racing Networks kicking off their first ever live event. Super Late Models, 60 driver limit cap, 36 will make it into the feature. A lot of money on the line. Be sure to ask Jimmy Crow or James Waring or really anybody that you know if you're interested in competing. That will be August 17th. That's a Sunday, and it will all start at 8 o'clock. Other than that, Christopher, appreciate you joining me in the booth. It was an awesome race to call. At the end of it, Joshua McCullough waits until he can't wait no more. Barely edges out Jeff Merrick, and if this is what we see on HGR, then the 499 is going to be one to watch.
It will be. I'll tell you, I'm probably going to enter that late model race. I haven't got the link yet. Can you send me one?
I'll send you the flyer.
I have. My cousin Devin's been on iRacing for about 7 years now, and every day all he runs, Jim, is late models. Late models, late models, late models.
Well, is he ready
My cousin
to
Devin,
take-
he does it. He's actually what Podium. You know who Podium was?
Oh, yeah.
He won the Podium late model race, the biggest race of the year. He won it about 3 years ago.
Is he ready to take on the super late models?
Oh, he can drive them. He can drive them.
Well, buddy, I'll send you the flyer, and of course, you know how to get in contact with.
Now I'll come in there to be a backpack runner, but hey, I enjoy racing.
As long as you can make it through the heats and make it through there, you'll have a shot at the money.
Oh, I can't buy my way in?
Talk to Jimmy and James about that.
I can't just give a couple hundred and say I'm in the feature. Come on
Oh,
now.
you can't. Go talk to Jimmy still before I say something. With that being said, we got to get through the SummerSlam 499 first before we can get ready for Bash at the Beach. Until then, HGR live tomorrow night. It's going to be a fun one, as always. Actually, HGR through Friday. And then you got BDS following it. It's going to be a great race all the way around. Christopher, appreciate you joining me in the booth. Appreciate everybody.
Jim, listen, since you invited me in the first time, I enjoy this, buddy. I really do.
A whole new perspective of racing.
Yes, it is. I have more respect for you guys than I've ever had in my life since I've been on iRacing. I'll tell you that.
I appreciate it, buddy. I really do. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. You'll be able to join me back up here in the booth again. And until tomorrow night, appreciate everybody stopping by, watching this race tonight. Joshua McCullough will take HGR on a Wednesday night. And until tomorrow, hope everybody has a good night. We'll see everybody tomorrow night.
Good night, everybody.